we're going to bring you the expert advice from a variety of authors, consultants, and thought leaders who will provide the tools you need to maximize your own personal and professional margin. Welcome to the Massimo Show. Hey, this is Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Show. Matthew Laborde of Elifin Realty. Did I get that right?
Right.
Wow. Woohoo.
And I'm honored.
Okay, now Matthew, shockingly, there may be people in the world who don't know who you are. Maybe they don't have Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or right? Or they don't work in your market. But let's say for those one or two people in the world, who the hell is Matthew?
Who the hell is Matthew? So I own a commercial real estate brokerage in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We're a young company coming up in the world, making waves.
Making waves. For those who have listened to the Massimo Show, we generally talk about three avatars, right? There's the Ned newbies just starting out, trying to figure out what you're going to do. There's the Peter Plateaus. They're stuck trying to get to that next level. Then there's the Bob Toppers, generally seasoned veterans who are making so much money, but they don't quite have a life. They need to figure out what to do. So Matthew is actually one of the catalysts to the Peter Plateaus, not because he's Peter Plateau, but because the people like him, the Peter Plateaus, call us because they say those damn kids are taking my market share. And Matthew is one of those damn kids taking market share. So let's get right into it. How long have you had Elifin Realty?
For 3 years and 3 months.
Okay. So I think Elifin, I'm sorry, Matthew, I'm thinking about an elephant. I apologize. That's what I think
Perfect.
about.
That's perfect. In our logo, there is an elephant. So that's perfect. So the name Elifin, I'm guessing that's the next question. Elifin, it stands for ELI, Elite, FIN, Financial. And then we threw an elephant on the logo so people could pronounce it. That is the story, basically.
Okay, well, let's get to the story then. If we're talking about the story, before these last 3 years where you've taken your market by storm, you're getting your dominant market share, a bunch of young kids, excuse me, Matthew, young kids kicking ass and taking market share. Who was Matthew before then? What were you doing?
I was lost. A lost soul. No, I was at a company called Bobox Commercial Real Estate, one of the biggest companies in Louisiana. I was killing it. I started there 1920. By 26, top producer over there, was just crushing it and had hit a ceiling or a plateau and decided I had to do my own thing.
So what was it about the transition? Because a lot of folks now are maybe in jobs, right? They may be, or bigger firms, whether it be selling insurance or real estate or web services or whatever they might be selling. What was it that you said, it's time to go on my own? What was it?
Yeah, so I had no interest in going on my own. And then somebody out of the blue that I didn't really know took me to lunch and said, God told them to take me to lunch and tell me that I needed to start my own company. I was like, I'm a little religious, right? But then, and so I kind of brushed it off. But then a month later, there were some things that happened, and I was like, you know what? That guy might not have been so crazy after all. I'm going to do it.
Elephant's born. So God sent a prophet to you to take you to lunch and tell you that the vision was for you to go out. Now, look, I get it. Santomassimo. Matthew, do you know what Santomassimo means?
It means the best saint or something.
Very good. The most holy. So there you go. I have a religious spin to me as well, there's no doubt. But to me, it came in a dream. To me, I was actually in bed, woke up, and I don't know if it was God, but someone told me in my dream, my subconscious, you need to start a coaching company. And I said, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. So something happened. You said, I'm going to do it. You're doing so well in commercial real estate. By the way, what was it being so young and working with this other firm before starting your own? Why do you think you had success at such an early phase and an early tenure as well?
Yeah. One reason was because this was at the time, 2010, things were slow. The older brokers were laying off staff and the internet was coming, the internet and particularly data on the internet, like ownership data, sale transaction data, was just starting to come into our market. And so you had those two factors, and you had a kid that was willing to sleep at the office, stay as long, work for nothing. So it was cheap to replace the support staff. And I was able to find stuff like who owns the property within seconds, whereas they're used to going to the clerk of court physically. Imagine that. And sorting through files till they find out who owned it. So I did everything from that to make flyers, to walk dogs, to house sit, all for free in order to get near very smart brokers that are good at what they do and learn and get brought in on deals. And so I went from making very little to all of a sudden those deals started to close to making six figures. And by the time I was 22.
Incredible. And I don't care if you're 22, 32, 42, or 52, or 62, or 72, it doesn't matter. The same principles that Matthew shared apply today. Some of you, especially say you're 42 or over, right? You're saying, no way in heck am I going to work for free for anyone. I need to get paid for what I do in my time. Get over yourself. If you really want to learn a craft and you really want to be the best there is and do anything it is to be successful, follow the principles that Matt shared with you. Okay, Matt, so you become successful. You're on your own. I'm going to start this real estate company. What was the vision starting out? When you first started out, was it just you, or do you think, no, I'm going to build a team? Tell me that.
So first started out day one, I hired an office manager, Melissa Hoover, who is incredible, still with me today. She is our backbone. She and I we shared a desk, started in one room. The vision was, I was going to reinvent the wheel as far as brokers in our market. I was going to specialize in working just with financial institutions. I was going to work all over. I was going to do all property types. And over the first year, I realized that was not the way I wanted to go. I modified the vision, expanded to all commercial real estate, kept it close to home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I just said, hey, I'm going to dominate this market.
Okay, so you set out with a specific target audience, although being a generalist by trade, but in the Baton Rouge market, given the velocity of deals, again, doesn't matter what you do, you got to understand your market velocity and traction. So this is what I'm going to do. So you set out, did you have a plan to build the company? Tell me about that.
I had no plan at the beginning. I had a plan, but didn't buy into it, or really didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. And then one day, about a year in, maybe another thing from God, I found the Massimo Group, which obviously coaching organization. And that was my plan. And then I just consumed every YouTube video podcast that Rod had ever done. And I just said, all right, I'm just going to adopt this, I'm going to make it a part of my DNA, and I'm going to focus on implementing this plan.
The implementation, that's the key. We share a lot of content, as you know, and everyone shares content because why? Why they share content, Matthew?
Knowing isn't doing, maybe? I don't know.
Knowing isn't doing. Knowing isn't doing. Okay, so you set out, you got this vision, you have this plan now, you're going forth. But now you guys are seriously, after 3 years, amazed how many folks you have on the team. So I'm going to hold off on that, because we're going to get to that in what we call the 5 factors in 5 minutes. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Yeah. But beyond that, what else would you say right now? Well, what's the future for Elifin Realty as of today?
The future for Elifin Realty as of today is we're just going to keep growing within our market, and then we're going to look for strategic ways to grow outside of our market. Haven't determined exactly what that's going to look like right now, but that's the plan.
That's the plan. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break. Matthew, before we get to the 5 factors in 5 minutes, we're going to ask some crazy questions and see how you react. Ready?
Crazy questions. I'm ready.
What the hell do you do for fun?
I was hoping you didn't ask that question. I don't have a great answer for you. I work for fun. I enjoy working. I think running a company is so engaging. It's such an exercise in personal growth that you just become enthralled with it and a little bit addicted to it. And it becomes fun, I could pull this lever and it can grow, and I could pull this lever and it could not grow, do the opposite. I think that's incredibly fun.
But hold on, Matthew, you're holding back on me here, because I know for a fact I follow you on Facebook. Right. I see some non-work postings that you do out there, whether you're dancing or you're partying or you're certainly involved in the community. So beyond work, what's your number one love beyond work?
My girlfriend, Louisiana.
That is awesome.
Great question, Ron.
Okay. Why is that your number one love?
Well, she is an amazing person, and she's incredibly fun and intelligent and beautiful, and just a lucky man.
Okay. Who has had the greatest impact on your life?
So that's a great question. I would say my whole life, it would be my father. So he passed away when I was 14 years old, and he was an incredibly dynamic individual, and that just had such a big impact in my life. And I think it's one of the reasons why I am where I am today. And that, somebody told me one time is like, when you have a parent die at a young age, you learn the value of time. It's so true. It's so true. You learn to live life like you don't know that you'll have tomorrow. You try to make the most out of it. So that was a wake-up call for me. It's like, you got to live up to your potential and make your dad proud, right?
Matthew, that is fantastic. My father passed a couple of years ago, so I had the honor and pleasure of working. He was my number one impact in my life. But ironically, I spoke to another top producer yesterday, who you'll hear from down the road, and his father passed away when he was 14 as well.
Really? Who was that?
That's Anthony Provenzano out in Hawaii. Same element of drive and where he went. So incredible. Okay, greatest impact, most fun. Ready? What's your favorite color?
Favorite color? I got to say blue, right?
No.
Blue's elephant, right?
Blue's elephant. There you go. And blue's Massimo. So I like that.
That's right.
What's with this getup you always wear? This dark suit, white shirt, red tie. What's with the getup?
A suit is a getup?
Suit, white shirt, red tie. What's with that?
I probably worn this suit like 3 days in a row. It's just so easy. It's just you wake up in the morning, you put on the same thing. You're never underdressed, especially when I was young in my career, especially when I'd work with an older person, an older veteran type broker. I always wanted to be in a position to be brought in the meeting. And you can't bring in everybody in the office to a meeting with a good client. So if you're wearing, Sperry's and the khaki shorts and polo shirt, and you got your hair a little messy, then you're not getting brought in to the meeting. Sometimes you'll get brought in the meeting just because you have a suit on. They'll like the look of it and how it looks to the client. And so I found that to be the case and just stuck with it.
Love it. Wow. Great spin. Okay. Books. Do you read, listen, engage? Books? Yes, no?
I do, of course.
What's the last book you read?
The book I'm reading right now, it's the best ever apartment syndicator book, raising money and buying apartments.
Okay. It's every book you read, business books?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like me. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for fiction. When's the last time you worked out?
Ooh, that's a long time. Worked out my mind. I work that out every day. Worked out, I can't even remember. It's been a while. I don't work out. Not a big.
You and I have a conversation offline how important working out is, because I will tell you, top producers tend to work out.
I hit 30, and I'm starting to learn these lessons.
And you'll learn this, and everyone knows this, especially if once you get past 30, if you don't have your health, everything else doesn't matter. If you can't get to the office, it doesn't matter. But I'll give you a hard time about that. So let me ask you one last crazy question. What is Matthew going to be doing when he reaches Rod's current age of 56?
See, Rod, I thought we were the same age. You're 56?
I'm 56.
You look great, Rod.
Well, it's the dark hair. But go ahead.
What am I going to be doing? I'm going to own a lot of real estate. I'm going to own a top producing brokerage company, and I'm going to own a property management company, and I'm going to be world known for commercial real estate, investing, being smart. I'm going to be powerful, famous, and influential.
There you go. The influential. I love it. Influential. By the way, have you read the book, The Go-Giver by Bob Burg?
I've not. I've been recommended it, but I haven't read it.
Especially on influence. That's the key. So you want to be influential. If you sell 1 million copies of one single book, it's got to be a pretty good read. Yeah. And the fact is, it's a parable. So therefore, you can actually go in there and enjoy the story as well. Okay, so here we go. Ready for 5 factors in 5 minutes? Are you ready? Okay, now here's the thing. You're going to see me doing this. I'm actually taking my watch off because I'm only going to give you 5 minutes to do this. And you got to get it done in 5 minutes.
It's plenty of time.
Plenty of time? What makes Matthew so successful? I'll get the stopwatch. Go, Matthew. Prospecting. How do you prospect? Be as specific as possible.
So I have a staff member that sits right here, right in this chair behind me. He pulls up our CRM. He dials the phone, puts it on speaker. I talk. He takes notes, and then we go on to the next one.
How many calls do you try to make?
Try to make 110 per week attempted dials, prospecting dials.
And do you have a number for the number of people you attempt to speak to out of the 110 dials?
I don't have a number for that.
How long a day then would you be on the phone prospecting?
For prospecting, 1 hour a day on average.
And do you pre-schedule that at a certain time? You found a better time for you? Yes or no?
Absolutely. I have 7 different times on my calendar right now.
Okay, blocking off for prospecting. Okay, here we go with number 2 factor. Presence, personal marketing, right? How do you specifically market yourself and your company?
Social media. So we are a young company, right, in the group, and we hit social media hard because our competition is not there. They don't understand it. They don't have the resources focused towards it. So it's free, good for a startup, and it is effective.
What do you post on social media?
Post the deals that we've done, the deals we have available, just a peek behind the curtain in our everyday life as a commercial real estate brokerage company, and valuable insights and information and data for our clients.
Okay, so how often do you post?
Try to post at least once a day or more often.
Have you found there's any ROI that you can actually say it's worth it?
100%.
Last question on presence. Videos, texts, graphs, what, why? Does one work more than the other?
No, do it all.
Do it all. Do it all. Okay.
Do whatever works best for you. There's some agents where maybe they have less experience. They don't need to be pontificating about or giving all this wisdom in a video format. They need to be showing people that they're the hungriest person in the room. And then there's people that are veterans that aren't the hungriest person in the room, but have the insights and valuable knowledge. They need to be posting that.
Okay, factor 3, speaking of people, team. What's your team like? Roles, responsibilities, how big are they? Go.
Team, I've got 5 staff people. We got Amanda, who is our sales assistant, transaction coordinator. We got Therese, my executive assistant. We got Melissa, our office manager. Chase, our marketing director. Caleb, our research director. And then we've got 4 agents. We got myself. I'm a generalist by design. I bring in business. We've got Will. He's our retail specialist, head of the retail division. George, head of our office division. And Mark, head of our multifamily sales.
Fantastic. Okay, let's talk about the platform. You got a lot of people doing a lot of things. How do you sync and coordinate their stuff? What tools do you use?
So we're on Salesforce. More specifically, we're on Apto, a Salesforce overlay for commercial real estate. And everybody's synced, shared, common database, no wall, locked doors, locked file cabinets. Everything's out and open.
Well, Amy, out on your CRM, what are the tools you use to run your business?
We use Build Out to do our marketing. We do email. We use Slack. We use Constant Contact, a lot of different tools, QuickBooks.
Fantastic. A day in the life, number 5, productivity. A day in the life of Matthew Laborde. What time do you wake up? What's your day look like? When do you go to bed?
Yeah, wake up between 4:30 and 5:30. Get to the office between 5:30 and 6:30, make calls from 8:10 to 9:10. And then we have usually more important meetings where I have to be sharp and focused in the morning. Then lunch, maybe it's a Rotary lunch, maybe it's a nonprofit board meeting, maybe it's a lunch with a vendor trying to sell me something. Then afternoon, that's for the presence meetings, the face-to-face presence meetings, the lunches with people or the meetings with people trying to sell me something, trying to get me to donate something, or just general clients. And then you got after 5, that's when I'll typically go to either a nonprofit board meeting or a networking event, some type of social thing. And hopefully I'm in bed by 9 and to sleep by 10.
5 minutes and 11 seconds. Those are 5 factors in 5 minutes with the one and only Mathew Laborde. Those are some secrets, not them all. He's kept some to himself. Those are some secrets to his success. Before we let you go, big question people want to know. If you could say, these are the 3 factors that really impacted my success, what would those 3 things be?
The 3 factors were, 1, I started. I just began, right? That's such a huge thing. Second thing is I started and I kept at it. Like I was very persistent about everything and still am. Maybe I'm not good at certain things, but I'll keep doing it and I'll keep doing it and I'll keep calling and I'll keep showing up. That's a huge thing. And then third, I've been really good at seeing systems and what works and what doesn't work, and not afraid to make hard decisions when it needs to be made. And then in being able to give latitude and compensation and whatever to the people and systems that make sense.
All right. That is awesome. Thank you so much again. Our first official repeat visitor to the Massimo Show, because he has so much value to share. Mathew, I can't thank you enough. Thank you, my friend.
It's an honor, Rod. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone knows this, and Mathew knows me. I make Mathew say it himself. We live by one principle. That principle is something to do with knowledge and activity and actions. He said it once already. What's that principle, Mathew?
Knowing isn't doing.
No, isn't doing. So Mathew gave you so much knowledge, doesn't mean anything. You got to do it. Until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show. I want to thank you for listening to this version of The Massimo Show. And please go out and share this with your friends, your colleagues. Heck, share it with your dog. Just share it. And more importantly, just give me some feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We all grow from understanding what our audience wants to hear. So until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo